Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about something I get asked about a lot. How I met Ghetto Kids, the full story of how we made this video together of Michael Jackson that got featured on Michael Jackson's page. I still can't believe that. It's 2 years later and I still can't believe that. Especially because it was all unplanned for. So today I want to talk to you about the history a bit, going back to March 2022 when we first met, and how I found out about them, the steps I took to get in touch, shooting the video with them, and then a year and a half later the reunion together.
Now that you're gone away, my heart will always stay. So young and free like we were and we'll always be. Hata wengine wakisema watasema, sababu niko sawa, niko njema. Who you're blessed, no man can test. I let it go, sawa sawa, sawa sawa, sawa sawa. Just let it go, sawa sawa, sawa sawa, sawa sawa. I let it go, sawa.
Got this.
Action!
DJ!
Gotcha.
So, how did it all start? Decided to go to East Africa, Uganda, and my Ugandan friend said, "Do you know Ghetto Kids?" I was like, "No, who's Ghetto Kids?" He's like, "What? You don't know them? You love dancing? You need to check out Ghetto Kids." So thank you, Innocent, for telling me about Ghetto Kids. So they were starting to get known. They had already done some videos with French Montana back in 2014, I think, or 2017. So they were getting traction, and then the new generation was starting to go viral, and they had made this viral video with this artist called the Main LT. So he sent me that video and I watched it, and then I was like, oh my god. I immediately got up and started dancing. They gave me something through that video. I felt something really special, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to Uganda, this is cool. I should probably maybe try to get in touch, but I mean, it's hard. I don't know if they're going to reply to my message. But my friend said, oh, just send him a message. Actually, he does reply. The manager, he usually replies to people. So I did. I sent them a message on, here I am, I'm coming to Uganda. I was planning to do the gorilla tracking before. I had a few days at the end of my trip. Can I come visit? And sure, I just wanted to see what the vibe was about, meet them. Kavuma is the manager of Ghetto Kids. After my message on Instagram, he was very nice with his reply, and he gave me his WhatsApp. He was like, "You're more than welcome to the Pearl of Africa." And I wanted to get to know his story first. I didn't want to meet children straight away, because for me it was important to actually get some background, not just come in, because I thought it might be a bit overwhelming for the children and for myself to suddenly meet them and also at the same time hear the story behind it. He was also a ghetto kid essentially, and his skills in football got him out of the streets into a scholarship, into a great opportunity, and then he promised himself to do the same with children of the streets. And then when he found his dancing talent, it was a no-brainer. He started to get them together to perform, and then the rest is history, obviously. I was very, very touched by the story, and I told him that my background obviously is in engineering, but as a kid I was always obsessed with dancing, and I saw this video and I saw the same sort of fire and passion that I used to have as a kid, and I never got to explore this dancing, and I would like to help children perform. And this was my cheeky question. I was like, do they know Michael Jackson? Because I grew up listening to Michael Jackson and learning his moves. And then he was like, oh my god, they will love you if you start teaching them Michael Jackson, because they're always moonwalking. So I was like, oh, okay, wonderful. But also, I want to do more than that. I want to get to know them, see what kind of needs they have, their school needs, their picking up, homework, all of that stuff. So I wanted to spend some time with them outside of their dancing first. So I did. The second day I met them after meeting Kavuma, and we were greeted so well. And I was taken again by this incredible energy. And then the second day, I just put on some random songs just to see how they feel about Michael Jackson. And I started teaching them the Beat It routine, They Don't Care About Us, Smooth Criminal. And when Smooth Criminal came, did a few moves, and Akram and King were really into it, actually. I mean, everyone was so good, so wonderful. And Akram and King just continued repeating and repeating the same routine, and they really enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, fine, this is great. Like, I'm gonna go. I wasn't staying with them, I was staying nearby. I was like, I'm gonna go, I'll see you next time. Came back, we celebrated some birthdays together, really spent some quality time playing basketball, football, got them a few things they needed. It was a wonderful time. And then on the last day, I was shooting actually another video with a friend of mine, Marvi, that I met there, and Ronnie. So we did a nice choreo together. And I thought that was the end of my day, and I went to say goodbye. I was leaving the next day. Then teacher came, he's like, oh, didn't you want to shoot a video? I was like, it's okay. We don't have to. I really didn't think my time there meant that I was going to do a video. I really didn't plan on this. It was just, having some fun to NJ that day when I was teaching them some choreography. It was just about that. I guess, things were meant to be as they happened. So he called his videographer, amazing guy, director as well. And the sun was actually coming down, so we didn't have much light left, so we had to actually hurry up. And we started doing this choreography of Smooth Criminal that I had taught them. And from the time when they learned that choreography to the day that we shot, they were obsessed with watching the lean. They were so obsessed with it. So I came up with this idea at the end, just a last minute thing. I was like, why don't you pick him up by the t-shirt and try leaning? And then they did that at the end of the video. So that was actually a very spontaneous move that we did literally 3 seconds before shooting. And yeah, I was very nervous. I was like, oh my god, like no one has done this before. Literally, I was the first one from, abroad outside Uganda to come meet these kids and perform a video. Outside of French Montana, obviously, he's a celebrity, but I think I was the first non-celebrity to go and do this. So I was very nervous and didn't know what to expect, but the only thing I knew was that I loved Michael Jackson, and making a video with these children will be such a great souvenir to take back to my family and friends, show them this is what I did. I finally did it, this dream as a child to dance to Michael Jackson and to transmit this passion and skills to the next generation. That is an ultimate dream of mine that I managed to achieve, and I'm so grateful. Then I went to Zanzibar and I didn't think of anything for a week. And my friend who was traveling with me, he's like, Amal, when are you posting this? You've got gold in your hands. It's like, oh, it's all good. Like, I'll post it later on. I had a personal account. My Instagram was personal. So I didn't really think, again, much of it. I relaxed in Zanzibar and these paradise beaches, read my book, just was getting ready to come back to the UK, which I was dreading because I was traveling for 2 months. So then I posted it on my last day in Zanzibar. I was at the beach, I remember, sitting on the sand, writing this caption for Instagram. I had no idea how anything worked. And then, yeah, all of a sudden, I'm getting hot. Then it was like, okay, what do I do now with this? What the hell do we do? Where do we go from here? Such a strange feeling, because for me, again, this video was just about like a souvenir. You go to a country, some people buy magnets and key rings. For me, it was this video. That was my souvenir of Uganda, this special moment that I shared with the children. And then it got shared and reshared and reshared until NWE, the #1 Afro media platform, shared it. And then my account exploded, and I didn't understand why. I mean, I had a personal account. And then from there, I did a few BTS. More people started asking questions. How do we get to Uganda? We want to meet Ghetto Kids. And I was like, this is it. This is the thing that these institutions, these children need, is a platform, being seen by the world. So it was an incredible thing to happen. I think everything happens for a reason. You know, the next generation to music that I thought maybe was going to be forgotten. Turns out MJ will never die because his legacy still lives on. People are still trying to learn his moves. It was such an incredible opportunity to be able to share this platform with them. And then Chris Brown reshared it in his stories in June, so 3 months later. The official page of Instagram of Michael Jackson shared it. So when I saw my face there next to the king, all the stars had aligned, and I was feeling very grateful, not just for me but for the children to actually be seen outside of Ugandan Afro music. They were seen for their talent, you know, in popping in American pop culture. So that video went quite viral on their page too, and from there they carried on. You know, they had many opportunities. Even before we did this video, they were getting such an amazing traction. So I think the year 2022 was such a good year for them. Amazing things happened for them, and then they got to Qatar for the FIFA, then they went to Britain's Got Talent, and all the way I kept in touch with them, you know, through video calls. I followed up with them, made sure they had all the support they needed, and so we kept this great relationship. And you know, they were always asking me, when are you coming back, when are you coming back? Decided to go back in September 2023, and it was such an incredible reunion, seeing them again. They had growth. It's crazy how quickly they grow. But we didn't. I mean, people were asking me, are you going to do a video again? It was kind of like an idea that I had, and then I thought, if we do that, it might kill the magic of the first one. And I really learned to really appreciate a piece of art for what it is, and to never try to reproduce it. But during that time, they were also very, very busy doing America's Got Talent preparation, so we didn't actually have this time together to practice as much as we did the first time, which is understandable. I mean, they were much bigger and had a lot more partnerships and deals to do, so we didn't get that time. But also I had other invitations from other groups to help, so that opened 100,000 doors, you know, to help other people. Just from that one video, people saw that connection and the possibility and the opportunities to show up to the rest of the world, from someone who's not from Uganda, to mix and, you know, show what it is to be African. I mean, I'm a North African as well, so I could also show that side, that, you know, we are together and we can be united. So it was just all very, very powerful. So the fact that I went back to Uganda, I wanted to spread that message across even more, go to more groups, more families, see what help they needed, see what dancing they wanted to do, create more dance videos, spread the joy. This is what it's all about. So that one video just created this wave of happiness, of opportunity, of joy, and I'm forever grateful for this. And this is exactly why I'm on this journey now, to try to spread more hope with dancing, to try to go to more countries and do this, not necessarily with, you know, people in need, but maybe people who are also talented but don't know how to take the right route, you know. And I just want to insist that doing this doesn't show that Africa is poor. Here we're highlighting that the opposite, that Africa is rich in humanity and in people's hearts and their talent, and how abundant they are and how they are giving, you know, even though they might not have much, but they have everything because they have this soul and then heart, and they want to share, you know, and that's what's important at the end of the day. And we do what we can to help, but I always say that your donation of time is more important than donation of money. And this is the case for me, for Ghetto Kids and for the other groups I worked with, is really to help them channel their skills, you know, so that later on they can be independent and create their own wealth. You know, it's not about giving them wealth, it's about allowing them to be confident enough to create their own wealth. So that's the work we do, you know, and I'm still doing it alone. I would say this is like a solo journey, but at the same time, the people who went after me are creating this new community now of going to meet these children, creating new opportunities. People who are much more visible on social media have now been to see Ghetto Kids and are now helping and creating fundraisers and charities. So this is brilliant. But again, we're not doing this to highlight that Africa is poor. We're doing this to highlight talent and to show that actually Africa has talent that can go beyond this continent, that can go to America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. This is what we're showing, and I find that really, really special. So yeah, that's the story of how I met Ghetto Kids. You know, it all came from, I would say, a bit of luck, coincidence that, you know, I was going to Uganda. My friend in London was Ugandan. He told me about this group, showed me this video. I fell in love immediately. I messaged on Instagram. I got a reply like that. So it was very straightforward, very easy to go. But yeah, I would say keep an open mind. Anyone who wants to meet the Ghetto Kids now still can. All you have to do is message on Instagram, send them a message and say why you want to go, what's your skill, what's your background, and then yeah, it's pretty simple. Uganda is a very welcoming country, and in my separate videos you can see, you know, my tips on Uganda and what to look out for. But this is really to tell you that if you want to go meet Ghetto Kids, you can. Let me know if you need any help on Instagram as well. So I've helped people do that in the past. You know, so yeah, I like sharing this information. It's great. I think more people should do this. Should go and see what they exchange, the skills they can exchange. You know, it doesn't have to be dancing. It can be anything. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to know more BTS, anything like that. Cheers.